Eurozone finance ministers are urging Greece to stop wasting time at a meeting in Brussels. They said Greece has made little progress in detailing the promised reform program. CCTV's Jack Barton is following the developments in Brussels. Jack, there seems to be a war of words underway between Athens and EU finance ministers.
That's right, and that war of words was so heavy over the weekend it almost felt like the meeting was over before it began. We heard from Greece's finance minister speaking to the Italian press, saying that his country may have to have a referendum if Brussels doesn't make more concessions on rolling back austerity. We also heard from Jeroen Dijsselbloem, the president of the Eurozone finance ministers grouping, the man who also made the comment about stop wasting time. But he also said he'd seen the list of new proposals from Athens and it was not up to scratch. Certainly not enough to get the latest release of bailout funding. So now Greek officials will have to meet again on Wednesday with officials from the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank and the European Commission. This is what Germany's finance minister had to say earlier.
It's up to the Troika. This is what they wrote. The Greek government must now implement its obligations, and they should refrain from unilateral changes, which they have not agreed upon with the Troika.
Now notice that Schäuble used the term Troika, which is an absolute no-no now. They're supposed to be called the institutions. Greece's finance minister said after the meeting he put that down to a slip of memory. However, many other analysts here are reading it as Berlin sending a clear message that they're not in the mood for nonsense.
So Jack, explain one thing for us. Greece's loan extension doesn't run out until next month, but Athens still faces this potential credit crunch this week. What is that all about?
Well, that's right. Athens got its 4-month loan extension last month. The problem for Athens is that that loan comes in installments, so it just comes in dribs and drabs. This week, they're expecting an installment, the equivalent of more than $7 billion US. That's being held up because it needs to come up with a comprehensive list of reforms, or at least a better list of reforms than the one it presented over the weekend. It desperately does need that money because midweek it's going to need more than $2 billion US to service its outstanding debts. And if it doesn't service those debts, it would lead to a default, which of course is barred under EU rules. So the expectation is, as it goes into that meeting on Wednesday, even though it seems there are still big differences and divisions, that somehow that compromise will be made.
Jack Barton, live in Brussels. Thank you.